Alright, it looks like there's a game 2 of Renie versus kerocero, and I'm really interested to see how both of these players are going to play this match out. Their first match, Renie did take it, and it looks like this time kerocero does get Dominion and Raiders. Renie was looking for Swarm or Infested, so as I suspected in the first game, kerocero did want to get a Terran. That's kind of his go-to. Tournament rules, the first round you must pick 3 races, second round you must pick 2, and in the final round you could pick your 1 race. Ooh, a little weird there. He kind of grabbed all of his workers and put them there. Looks like a bit of a misplay. So Raiders are close to my heart. They are the Brood War variant of Terran. They are essentially Brood War in StarCraft, or Brood War Terrans in StarCraft 2. I come from a Brood War background personally, so that's kind of why they're close to my heart. I also did like Terran in the original Brood War quite a bit. I was a Protoss main, but I did try to learn a bit of Terran. Much to my dismay, they were very hard, and lurkers would burrow and kill all my guys, so that's just kind of how that works. Anyway, it seems Renie here is going for, well, nothing really. Yeah, the gas. I was going to say, if he went for his roaches, then that would be something. So, the gas essentially lets you do the infested commander opening, which does not need any unit or any prerequisite building, which is a little BS in my opinion, because it kind of just prevents infested from ever being harmed by anything. Looks like the scout is being stopped here. A little cheeky maneuver by Renie here. Probably plays. I think kerocero's his practice partner. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen them speaking Korean to each other from time to time. In either Renie's stream or the chat here or there, like in Renie's stream in the game, they'll speak Korean to each other. So I think they do have a bit of history, a little bit of friendliness. That's good. kerocero really making sure his orbital command is hotkey. That's fine. That's good. I like to do cheeky stuff with my hotkeys as well. An early bunker. So this is interesting. It seems like I was thinking this myself, that there's not a lot of way to really expand against an infested commander build, because they are ranged and basically kind of eat marines for breakfast in low numbers before they get their medics and stim pack. So, what's this? Another egg cluster? So just like a kind of a wall here. I'm not sure why. Maybe deal with like a vultures or something in the event. Well, here's the roach warren. So the bunker is going to keep him safe if some sort of cheeky attack came through. But just a changeling though. This can be a pretty annoying unit. Very good. I think it's a little too good, personally, but that's just me. kerocero still no gas. Looks like he's probably going to be sticking with marines, bunkers. We'll just, use supply depots to make a wall here, and then have his bunker be in the center of that wall. Pretty safe against a lot of, early game pressure and whatnot that can be done. So let's see how this changeling ends up working for him here. Will the bunker just shoot at it? Oh, it looks like it will. Seems that it became a marine, despite not seeing it. I've never agreed with changelings. I think the whole mechanic of a unit looking like your units in RTS was always kind of silly. Just opinions though, right? I'm trying to pass the time here to see what Renie's really going to do. Because I suspect Terran finally getting gas, a second barracks, so we're definitely going to see a more infantry focused build here for the Raiders. And it looks like just expansions here, third base potentially. Yeah, Renie going for a third base, keeping it safe. With the creep movement speed, it really does seem safe to just get that third base. There's the scouting guy, the scrutinizer. I forgot what his name was. Not a whole lot going on. And here's the scan. Gonna see, what he's up to. The egg cluster. I'm like, ooh, where was that other scan? Okay, there it is, right there. So we just see all the main the Zerg centers being scanned here. Just more egg clusters. Nothing too strange going on here. Just looks like infantry. You make infantry, and that's it. You just do that, and then you go and use them and attack them. I personally think that infantry use a little basic, a little straightforward. That's kind of why I didn't like StarCraft 2 as much. Seemed like everyone just kind of made infantry, and you fought them, and infantry were good with your marines and medics and so on. So scrutinizer just looking here, seeing what's going on. Rennie's probably identified, okay, this looks like an infantry-centric build, whatever, great. No cheeky drops, no air, no bizarre tech or anything. So this base almost fully saturated here. And another egg cluster. Let's see what he can build here. Looks like maggots. Maggots do seem like a pretty good response to the Terran menace of the ball of infantry. Infantry just kind of have to bob and weave out of the way maggots fire. They just start firing and then really start firing the longer they attack. So there is an upgrade here, the maggotness, yes, increasing that range from 7 to 10. And you put some roaches in front of these and they can really dissuade any pressure that the Terran infantry of either Dominion or Raiders might do. So, kind of annoying, but you can bob and weave. I personally think it makes going infantry against infested very difficult, though as long as you keep those Raiders and Marines in good positions, I think it can be handled pretty well. So here's the factory and a starport, and Rennie is going to see this. He's just really persistent with this scout here. No turrets or anything for kerocero, which is fine. Why would you make turrets to kill just one little scout? That's a lot of information the scout gives, but again, not gonna like kill you or anything. It's just intel, and playing just a macro game, it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Just know he's playing a macro game. Not if you were doing something sneakier, definitely better to try and kill that scout, but not too important. Good creep spread here. Like I said, maggots, got 5 of them. Start with 7 damage, and they do a bit of AoE, which usually isn't too big a deal, but being that infantry are so small and they really clump up, the AoE on the maggots can actually be very good. Also, when the maggots die, it says it in here somewhere. Yeah, when they die, they deal 75 damage to enemies around it. Though the maggot itself is really slow, so not something that can be used too readily. Oh, the few, what are these guys called? Reapers. Nothing here to really deal with the creep tumors, unfortunately. Oh, he did try to C4 the eggs. He might be able to get it. Oh no. Another interesting thing about the way maggots work is that they can be dodged. They do start firing, but they hit the ground. They don't hit the actual unit directly, like a projectile that can't be disjointed. It just shoots it at the ground. Similar to the Harriers for Covenant. So here we have our scary little infantry ball, getting up there in numbers. Upgrades. Oh, here we see the scans. What's he gonna see? Is he just, oh, yeah, it looks like he's scanning at the front here. He's scanning before he goes into harass. It's always a smart move. The creep spread here, definitely can see that happening. Is he going to put a C4 on there? Yeah, that's kind of the way to deal with it, I think, Reapers and C4. See if he gets any harass done. Yeah, the spawn banelings are pretty good. They do just sort of poop on any form of harass really easily. Unless you have a lot of it. So that's one thing that the infested have going for them, being uber defensive in general. Oh, Nidus Swarm. Another reason why Brood War or StarCraft 2 seems silly, the ability to just make a thing that you can put all your units in. Seems very odd to me. So he did here, it does give the alert, right? So once these things get into your base, they do just kind of start firing and don't really stop. So they can be really annoying to deal with, considering that you don't have a lot of room to maneuver against maggots if they're just in your base. Looks like another Nidus Swarm here, so he might be bobbing and weaving, going in and out. So as you see, the maggots do really melt away that infantry unless you move. I'd say this game looks to be over pretty quick. I was thinking, I mean, it was pretty decisive, a fast maneuver. I mean, seems difficult. Very difficult to handle. Well, whatever the case may be, looks like kerocero wasn't able to pull through. I already had a lot more just roaches coming with all those minerals. So it would have been a really good front door attack. And you could just load those into the Nidus and do an attack here. And you really see all these layers upon layers of, strategy and opportunities. plans within plans, I guess, to see how this would have worked. But yeah, looks like that's the game. I'm going to conclude this now. Looks like Renie won 2-0. If there's any other good replays, I might do those as well. But for now, I'm going to stop, see, to have a look at those other replays, see what happens. And if I do those, I'll see you there, or not. Either